Hey guys, it's Mrs. Tupper. I am here with Lucy to talk to you about stages of the hero's journey. Okay, so what is it? It's a way of storytelling that's common to a lot of movies, books, comic books, you name it. When we talk about the hero going off on a journey and you just finished your notes on the knight's journey, right, his hero's quest, they have similar stages in common. There's 12 identified ones. Different scholars believe in different ones. Not every story will meet each one, but this is a good basic guideline for us to go off of. You're going to use this as we go forward into Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, and in Morte d'Arthur, or the Death of Arthur. We're going to be looking at a lot of the Camelot tales. All right, so we start out in stage one. So write that down on your note sheet. Stage one, big and bold and beautiful, life in the ordinary world. Life is good in the hood. Well, maybe not good, but we've learned to accept things, right? Not a lot of conflict, life as usual. If you're Harry Potter, you live in a cupboard under the stairs. If you're Dorothy, you live in the gray world of Kansas. If you're Bilbo Baggins, you're at home in the Shire, chilling, right? But then something comes along. Stage two, we have a call to adventure. Something comes along and threatens life in the ordinary world, and our hero has to undertake the mission. They're either summoned or they're called upon. One or the other. This is not always voluntary, though. Make sure you have that. I said down, it's not always a voluntary thing. For Harry Potter, it's Hedwig the Owl delivering his letter that says he's invited to Hogwarts to attend. For Dorothy, it's the Twister. For Bilbo Baggins, it is a bunch of dwarves showing up at his house, right? Could be different things. Trying to think Star Wars. Okay, Star Wars. Luke buys R2D2 and C3PO, and when he goes to clean R2D2, he gets the message from Princess Leia, right? A call to adventure. Stage three, our hero refuses the call. Could be for different reasons. You can see some of those there. You don't need to write them all down. Could be overwhelming. They don't think they can do it. They don't want to do it. They don't really care about the cause, right? Or someone does it for them, like a parent. We have Harry Potter again when he gets the letter from Hogwarts. I don't want to spoil too much. It's the very beginning, right? But the people taking care of him don't want him to go to school there, right? So I think he burns the letters and does other things with them, right? Those sorts of things happen. So it could be that someone else is refusing the call for them. In stage four of the hero's journey, they discover a mentor, a guide, right? Someone who's going to guide them, to instruct, to lead them, right? This is the hero that tells them, yes, this mission is necessary, believe in it, right? Stand up for our fellow Jedis, those sorts of things. We have an image of Dory there. She's one of them. Gandalf is another one if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, right? There's tons of different mentors, usually someone older and wiser, but not always. Sometimes the mentor comes in the form of a child. This will make more sense as we start reading these stories. So don't worry if you're not quite getting it. Just get the stages. All right, stage five. Passing the threshold. This is the point of no return, the beginning of the quest. The hero leaves his home and has started on that journey. We see a picture there of Frodo Baggins leaving the Shire. Also another one there of the Matrix, right? Take the blue pill, you take the red pill. You make your choice, you start your journey. Dorothy decides to, once the house lands after the tornado, to step out into Oz. Along the way, they find allies and encounter enemies, right? Throughout this journey, they start finding more and more people. Who's going to help? Who do they need to worry about, right? We have the Wicked Witch of the West for Dorothy, but she's got the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion with her, right? They know as they go who's going to work with them, who's going to work against them. Stage 7, tests and challenges. This should sound a lot like the quest stuff you just looked up, right? Or I should say that you just did on the Cornell notes. Our hero is going to undergo tests and challenges that bring him closer to his goal. It's obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. But as our hero progresses, he becomes bolder, stronger, wiser, greater, right? More prepared for the final battle, right? Because if he started off in the beginning in the final battle, things wouldn't have gone so well. We had Luke Skywalker, never handled a lightsaber in his life, fresh off of Tatooine. If he went up against Darth Vader in that moment, yeah, bad stuff would have happened. All right, stage 8, approaching the innermost cave. The hero's entering a place of darkness. It can happen one of two ways, literally or figuratively. Hopefully we know the difference between those two by now. Literally, though, meaning exactly what it says, a dark, scary place. A cave. Think of Beowulf, right? Going down into, it's not really a cave, but he went down through the lake, right? To get to where Grendel's mother lives, right? Or we see a picture there from Finding Nemo. It's some deep underwater area, right, with really scary lanternfish, things like that. But it could also be figurative, meaning it's not an actual place outside, it's a place inside. Depression, sadness, melancholy. This is a time of trial, but the hero learns something that's really valuable and important during this stage, right? Again, getting our hero ready for the big battle. Stage 9, seizing the sword. So our hero finally finds the courage and nerve to face his enemy, and enemy is in quotes because it might not actually be a person, right? It could be a thing, it could be a system, right? But the hero decides it's time to act all or nothing. We're all in, right? We're gonna fight. The sword's been pulled from the stone. We're ready to go. All preparing for stage 10, the ultimate ordeal. Our hero started out in the ordinary world, went through all these trials to get better, faced himself, right, that dark place to get better, found out who his allies were and his enemies were, getting more knowledge to get better, to get ready for this point, the ultimate ordeal. This is the most challenging test. If this were a video game, this wouldn't be all those little mini bosses along the way. It'd be the big boss at the end of the level, right? Or really at the end of the game. It's usually a face-to-face battle with this person. It says here mortal enemy. Not always mortal, especially if someone's fighting for another cause, if that makes sense. But they are going up against the big bad guy. So for Luke Skywalker, he's going up against the Empire, but the Empire is represented by the Death Star, right, that he's going to blow up. Make sense? Stage 11, resurrection. Again, literal or figurative, right? Literal, the hero dies and he's brought back to life again. Or he's thought to be dead, except he comes back and surprises everyone. This happens in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. When his father thinks that Indiana has gone off the side of the cliff, they all think he's dead. He reaches up and he climbs up the side of the cliff behind, or I should say next to them, and comes up behind them and asks them what they're staring at, right? They think he's dead, but he returns again. So not a literal death. Or the hero is reborn into a higher state of being or consciousness. They're elevated. They're a Jedi now. They're a true warrior. They're an American Ninja warrior, right? Whatever. Makes sense. Stage 12, they return with the elixir. All right, so the elixir, it's a potent potion that restores one to health. But it's not necessarily like a potion bottle, if that makes sense. We use that as a stand-in, right? Whatever it is, it's going to restore the ordinary world. Doesn't mean it goes back the same as it was. Could be different, but better. The elixir could be anything. Peace, calm, hope, order, a cure, something. Could also be an actual healing potion. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, right? The water from the Holy Grail. Indy uses it to save his dad, right? Could be that. So think about those things We're going to talk about these stages a little bit further when we get into Sir Gawain and